So we're going to talk about ICP because it's running. And on a day where the market is bleeding, matter of fact, over the last like 30 days, the market has been brutal to everybody, right? But for some reason, ICP is standing alone and it's running and it's leaving a lot of investors completely confused. Now, over the last couple weeks, if you guys have been watching my channel, you'd have noticed that I've made a few ICP videos. The most recent one was this one right here. Does ICP have the best risk reward in all of crypto? And funny enough, during that video, it was either that video or another video that I made. Someone said, haha, you're talking about ICP, your subscribers is going to go broke. But it's funny because ICP is running and all the other coins is bleeding out. So ultimately, it does come down to risk versus reward. And if you've been in the space long enough, or if you've just been investing on a whole, whether it be stocks, anything, right? Then you understand risk versus reward. And this is why I've been talking about ICP over the last couple weeks, because I've been investing for quite some time. Okay, now, if we come over here to the crypto bubbles, check this out. ICP is up 41.5% on the day. There's a couple coins that's doing well as well, Dash, and then you have DCR, right? But majority of these coins are not doing so well at all. The last couple days have been brutal in crypto. Matter of fact, the last 30 days has been completely brutal in crypto. But this is why you got to look at the coins that look like they're sitting at the bottom of the chart and weigh out the risk versus reward. Now, I'm going to touch on that more a little bit later on in this video so that if you guys have other coins in your portfolio, you have a better understanding of what I mean by weigh out the risk versus reward. Okay, I'm also going to pull up the charts and let you guys know how high I think ICP could potentially go in the short term. In the long term, obviously, sky's the limit. But in the short term, some investors probably want to know, should you buy now? Should you wait? Especially when you start to see articles like this. All right, so this one says, ICP crypto enters bullish breakout, hits $4.20. Is internet computer best crypto to buy right now? You know, it's so funny because we should be seeing articles like these when the price isn't doing anything, when the price is sitting at the bottom of the charts. This is when we should be seeing articles like this. At that point, it is the best crypto to buy right now. But unfortunately, people only want to buy coins that's been rallying. And this is the same mistake that most investors, especially new investors, continue to make time and time and time again. They don't want to buy the red. They only want to buy the green when the hype is just completely heightened and just the FOMO is kicking in. If you guys watched my video yesterday, I showed you guys a chart on the possibilities, the odds of losing money after a coin has reached ultimate FOMO level. All right, but anyways, that's yesterday's video. You guys can go back on my page and you guys can check out that video. But yeah, let's see what this article has to say. So the best crypto to buy conversation is heating up again as ICP crypto bursts into a bullish breakout, reclaiming attention across the market. The internet computer price has surged to over $4.20, up more than 15% in a single day, driven by rising momentum, improving sentiment, and a flood of bullish technical signals. Okay, and right now in this chart, anyways, it's showing that internet computer is sitting at $5.53. Okay, a lot of talks has been around this caffeine AI. And this is why I always tell you guys to conduct proper research, because if you conducted proper research into ICP, you would have learned about caffeine AI. I can't remember if I mentioned it in my prior videos or not, but there's a lot of good things going on with ICP, but you want to get these coins when no one is talking about, when everyone is laughing, because people will always have something to say about every single coin in crypto, whether it be ICP, whether it be Ethereum, whether it be Bitcoin back in the day, whether it be BNB, whether it be Cardano. People will always have something to say until the price goes up and then they go completely mute and then they probably end up FOMOing into that coin at all-time highs. I've been in the space long enough to know that's how it works. And then after these people buy these coins at all-time highs, then they get mad when the price comes down and they don't know what to do with themselves. It's so hilarious. You're supposed to buy low and sell high. We all know this, but for some reason, people don't like to learn their lesson. And then they wonder how come their portfolio never hits new all-time highs. Well, that's because you don't buy low. You wait to buy after these coins have already started to rally. But let's see what people are saying about ICP over here on X. So this person says, what's going on with ICP? Up 70% on the week while 99% of the market is in shambles. Absolutely. The thing is, there's always a bull market somewhere, right? So I'm not surprised that ICP is running. Some people might be surprised that ICP is running, but I'm not surprised whatsoever because there's always going to be a runner. It's you got to look at the charts and you got to say, hey, is this thing at the bottom, and weigh out the risk versus reward. Okay, what else is here? It's official. ICP is heading to $200. The most hated rally of this cycle is unfolding right before our eyes. Most hated rally? Yeah, I mean, look, if you follow the herd, you're always going to get burnt. All right, you got to look where other people is not looking. What else do we have here? I warned you last year, ICP is currently the only blockchain that has a realistic chance to run AI and offer decentralized storage on chain, right? Yeah. I mean, ICP for newbies, 7 minutes. Yeah. So the great rotation into ICP has begun. This is the end of degeneracy, fake narratives, cringy paid KOLs pushing vaporware. You should be angry that you never heard of ICP. You are the victim of a large scale concerted effort by shady, jealous entities like FTX, Solana, Sol, etc. Now, ICP is still early in its run, so I'm curious to see how the rest of the week is going to play out for this thing. But if we take a look at the price action and then get into the charts, right now ICP is sitting at $5.48. And in this video that I made, when was this? A week ago, ICP was sitting at pretty much exactly $3, I believe. And yeah, I said that looked like it was pretty much sitting at the bottom of the charts. And this is why I said risk versus reward, right? But you can see the volume, right? And I will tell you guys, the volume predicts price. The volume is up 123% in the last 24 hours. 123% in the last 24 hours while the rest of the market is bleeding. Let's come over here to the charts. Okay, so in my last ICP video, ICP was sitting down here at exactly $3. All right, ICP rallied as high as what? $5.72 today. That's a pretty decent rally. Okay, but yeah, I spoke about the risk versus reward. Okay, and check this out. ICP down here at $3. I think the bottom was here, $2.85. Now, if you go all the way back out here on the charts, what you notice is back in October of 2023, ICP was sitting at $2.85. So this is where ICP did bottom out in the bear market. And this is why I told you guys the risk versus reward on ICP was incredible. And this is why I made that video. And it looks like, as of right now, the video was correct when I said the best risk versus reward in ICP. Okay. Now, if you look at other coins, SWI, okay, SWI is one of my personal favorites. The risk versus reward here. Right now, SWI is sitting at $2.05. How low can something like this go? Well, if you go all the way back, what you notice is SWI could potentially come down here to 46 cents. So ICP did have a better risk versus reward. And this is something you got to pay attention to if you're going to be a crypto investor. You need to understand how low can a coin potentially fall, because we cannot be buying these coins all the way down. The last thing you want is to be buying a falling knife, because if you try to catch a falling knife, you're going to get cut. And we don't want that to happen, right? So you got to buy in support levels. You got to look at our charts and say, hey, if this thing falls, how much lower can it potentially fall? And ICP had such a great risk reward ratio, if you ask me. Now, how high can this potentially go in the short term? Well, the truth is, no one knows what's about to happen in crypto, because right now it looks like Bitcoin wants to fall below $100,000. But what we notice here is ICP did rally to about $21, and that was March of 2024. So it's been a while since ICP has been over $20. It's been a while. But if the momentum continues to grow and people continue to FOMO into ICP, then I would not be surprised if ICP was in the short term to reach back to $21. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen overnight. I'm not saying it's going to happen within the week, but within the next month, you never know what's going to happen, right? Because even in a bear market, and I'm not saying that we're in a bear market, but even in a bear market, there's always a coin that's outperforming the rest. And ICP does have that potential. We're going to see how this thing plays out. Again, I'm not telling you guys that this run is going to continue forever. I'm just telling you guys that when it comes to investing Just look at the risk versus reward and then make a informed decision that way. Also, make sure you conduct proper research on the project, because if you don't conduct proper research, then you don't know what you're going to hold. And if a pullback occurs, then you're just going to panic and you're just not going to know what to do. All right, but ICP looking pretty cool right now, and it's definitely good to see the price action on today, right? But that's all I have for you guys. Real quick before I go, for anyone looking for a great crypto exchange, check out my link to BTCC. You get 10% bonus on first time deposits. Extra bonuses up to $10,000. It requires no VPN, no KYC. If you're someone that trades using leverage, you get to use up to 500x leverage. The link is going to be in my description down below for anyone that's interested.